Hello everyone, I am Bets Golden. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a very fun video for you. This is a great for people who want to get into art journaling or newbies at it, or just a refresher course for those of you that do it already. This is a video in which you are going to learn how you can combine your mediums together to create a beautiful background page. And we're going to use a water-soluble medium and then also a plastic-based medium, or something that dries to plastic, which you might know as acrylic. It does take a little bit of technique behind it. There are a couple rules you want to keep in mind when playing with your paint and your sprays. You need to know what to mix and when. We're going to get into that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope that you do so. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you enjoy this video, I would so love it if you gave me a like. All right, let's get down to the craft table. So we're going to use both paint and sprays in our art journal. And I'm using this art journal I've been working out of, which is the Dilutions Flip It, I believe. It's supposed to go like this, but I'm using it like this because it just fits on the camera better. However, I'm going to put the page together as if I'm going to do it downhill. If that makes any sense? I hope it makes sense. So for this technique, I'm just going to be using the basics dilution technique that Diane Reevely uses on her channel. It's the best, and my only concern is I'm using this little stencil. It's not as big, and you want to spray through your stencils. So I am a little bit concerned that I'm going to get some overage. Yeah, but we'll just have to deal with it. It's only a background. It's okay. If it stinks, then it's okay. All right, so I'm just going to start off like we start off with all of her paintings, and this is Mushy Pea. So I'm just going to blend out some color all over the place, just like we did in the color blending video, or paint video. I shouldn't say color blending video. Yeah, I'm with it. All right, so that's about all I want to do for the Mushy Peas. Next up, I'm going to use the, I think it's the lime, the fresh lime. It's this one, yeah, fresh lime. And I'm sticking with basically the same color, like greens, you know. You can mix it up, but when you do have the risk of running into some issues like mud. We don't want mud. And then I'm going to finish up with Dirty Martini. Whenever these are no longer going to be available, these big mouth ones. They're really great for dipping your your blenders in, or your wipes in, but they dry out. So they are only coming now in a different kind of bottle. So when you do that, make sure that you can see this one is totally already dry. Throw that away, grab a new one, but see, that's what happens to it. So always make sure that you add a spritz of water or something before you put your paint away, and keep it covered as much as possible until you work through it. All right, so this is the same color. It's Dirty Martini, and these work beautifully. Okay, all right, so pretty background laid down. Now we're going to go ahead and lay on some stencils using the sprays. This does get messy, so I recommend that you either cover your surface and wear an apron, or if you're like me, you just don't care anymore. So we're going to start off with that lightest color again, which is the first color laid down, which is Mushy Peas. And then I'm just going to take that there, and then over like that, and then right there. So, and I just kind of stamp it off as I go. I can even take another piece of paper to get off that, like another journal page, and stamp it there. It doesn't matter. And then fresh lime is next. And then finally, after fresh lime, I'm gonna do a different one because I did not have Dirty Martini in my sprays. I had polished jade. So we're gonna finish off with polished jade. I'm just gonna take this and then kind of stamp it on through. And voila, there is a background ready to rock and roll. Let's move on to glossy sprays and the acrylic. I started shooting this next video and I didn't like it, so I stopped. I almost wasn't gonna show you guys this, but it's like, no, you guys have got to see what really happens in a art journal. And sometimes you start and you don't like what you get. So instead of fretting over it, I'm just gonna turn a couple pages and start again. I had filmed about 2 or 3 minutes of this and it's like, oh, you know what? I don't like how that's going. So we're just gonna turn the page and move on to another page. I will deal with that later. You never know, it will be a base or something. So please don't get stressed out whenever you are working in your journal and it doesn't turn out the way that you want. Okay, nothing is perfect, and that was just an example. So let me backtrack a little. I am using Dina Wakley acrylic media paint this time. I'm going to be using Lemon and Ocean. And then I'm also going to be using her glossy sprays in Lemon, Ocean, and White. And then I have a stencil that I have pulled. And I'm going to just pretty much lay out this paint until I just can't lay it out anymore. And work really with a nice, you know, it might end up with a dry brush, which is okay. And again, I am creating this page as if I'm flipping it the other way, all right? And we are just about gone with that. You could clean that up, or you could just make a new pile somewhere else. I really want to make sure I have the majority of the yellow off on this, so I'm just going to spread it around everywhere. I'm spreading it around over here, just making sure I'm getting the majority of it off. I'm going to use the same paintbrush because I know that if worse comes to worse, if this blends, it's going to be okay. It'll just be green, which is pretty. I like green. All right, so pick that up, and I'm going to start this time kind of at the top and work my way down, because last time I started at the bottom and worked my way up. So this dries to like a plastic because it is an acrylic. And look at that, I'm using my other hand. All right, so I am pretty satisfied with that. Now we're gonna go in with our glossy accents. I keep calling them a glossy accent. They are not glossy accents, they are glossy sprays. We're gonna go in with the glossy sprays, and we're going to actually, I might let it dry between each. I'm not sure, we'll see. But I do want this to be dry, so I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll come back. Dry and ready to spray on with our glossy sprays. I got it right this time. I am going to pull in a white glossy spray on this, as well as the ones that I did the color, which is the Ocean and the Lemon. So I have it like this because I hope that it doesn't bleed off down there. We'll see. So I'm just taking the yellow. I'm laying the yellow down first. Let that dry, and then we will put on Ocean. Now we're gonna do Ocean, same technique. Make sure you always shake these up really well. Just going to throw some of it there. And then I'm going to throw some of it there. And I'll even try to take some off of the end right there and put some there. Again, this needs to dry, and then we will put on our white. And the white is going to be, I think it's going to be really nice because it'll kind of help stabilize it. This is dry, so we're going to go ahead and add on this white, same basic way. Voila. And you know what? I kind of want some there and some there. And there we go. That is how you can do a background relatively quickly with acrylic gloss sprays and with acrylic paint. And I will pull the camera down and show you close-ups of each of these pages so you can see the similarities and differences. This is a close-up of the page made with the Dina Wakley media, and as you can tell, that gloss spray is really, really glossy. Something else that you want, there's like a shine to it. Something else that you want to keep in mind when you are using the gloss spray is that it almost acts as an adhesive, and it will adhere if it's wet. So don't turn the page on it or close it until it is completely dry. And then the other one that we did today was this one, and this was with the Dilutions line with the sprays and the paint. So you can easily combine your paints and your sprays. However, I think you would be good to take your water-based soluble paints like Dilution and spray glossy accents over it, but I would not spray Dilution spray over an acrylic paint. I don't think it would give this kind of effect. It might bead a little. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy crafting.